While this was happening, I felt it, and she saw it too. While this was happening, there was anger inside of me. There was anger, frustration. And I was checking in with this anger because I noticed when I get angry in conversations, and I noticed that there was this anger showing up. And because I was able to tap into that, I was still actively listening to what she was saying. But while this was happening, I could not figure out where this anger came from. And because the anger was so big, it was almost as if it were unavoidable and inescapable. And we had different conversations. And hey, what's up, Angel Erica? And the conversation, don't acknowledge a person who's calling me albino. Don't acknowledge them. They're just looking for drama. Don't feed that. So this anger kept on showing up, and it leaked into our relationship. And the day started off in a very good space. And it ended up going into a very chaotic place, and it was very challenging. And as I continued to navigate through this anger and this frustration, really trying to identify where it stemmed from, I realized that my anger was PTSD from the abusive relationship that I was in, although I've done so much to heal this, that years and years and years and years and years and years of abuse, mentally, verbally, and physically, can be very challenging to make peace. It can be very challenging. Hey, there she is right there. There's Jen right there. We love her. Give her a follow if you're not following her. She's a moderator. She's my girlfriend. She's a shaman. She's a Reiki master. She's a medium. And holds space like we should all be doing in relationships to let that other person express their feelings, no matter how difficult it gets. There's not a word in the English language for the part that you feel after you have the overreaction and the outburst and the big emotion. There's not a word for it. It's frustrating. You could call it a loss of power. There's a lot of different ways that you can categorize it. However, I've noticed something in the past month. I have noticed, what's up, Sebastian? What's up, everybody? I've noticed that some of the biggest healing that I've gotten has been after it emotionally gets very messy. Because remember, it's easy for us to navigate by ourselves. It's navigate for us. Hey, what's up, Angelic Native? Thank you. Much love. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tapping the screen. It's very easy for us to deal with our emotions and for us to go to work and for us to do the things that we naturally do in the way that we do them until we get around other people. A lot of us are going into new circumstances. A lot of us are being around different people that we haven't been around before. A lot of us are looking to get into relationships. A lot of us are making big changes, right? And so because we're going into new circumstances, instead of being this big fish in a small pond, this is where we start to understand that there are going to be times where we have emotional reactions that we're not used to. And when you can sit in those moments where it's really uncomfortable, really awkward, really difficult, really challenging, this is where you can get some of the biggest transformations in your life instead of taking it out on other people. And this is where you start to become aware of the fact that all the frustrations that you have in life stem from the fact that we're actually frustrated with ourselves. We're frustrated that we don't give ourselves enough time. We're frustrated that we didn't get to process our emotions and our feelings when we were children. Hey, what's up, Social Butterfly? Nice to see you. We're frustrated that people will say that the best years of their life are behind them. People are frustrated because somebody from your childhood told you that you were stupid or that you weren't good enough or that you were a failure. There was something wrong with you. I just want to address this. I never will DM you or message you for readings or for healings or anything like that. If you want to book time with me, that is definitely in my bio link. But I just want to say, because there's like a lot of different versions of my profile that I've reported them to TikTok. And sometimes they take them down, but sometimes they don't. It's very, very, very frustrating. But I do make that noted on my profile. I will never reach out to you in the language that they use. It's like, hey, lovely. Like I don't talk that way. Okay. I don't say dear. I don't say hey dear, and I don't use big heart emojis and stuff like that. So please, if anybody named Nikki Scorpio 1 2 3 4 5 6, or Ricky Scorpio, or Mickey Scorpio, or even Vicky Scorpio, okay? Oh man. So the qualifications I have to talk about this is I woke up one day and I just went through some stuff and I was like, hey, people are going through some stuff and I should just talk about my perspective. In the same way you're qualified to project insecurity or frustrations on social media without knowing people, right? Maybe just hang out and get to know me. Maybe there's more to the story, right? Before you just come in here, right? I understand that you're asking a very logical question, but just understand that I'm good at what I do and I've worked with thousands of people and I get spectacular results. And you can ask anybody in here. There's no paid actors. Thank you so much. So when we are going into new circumstances, for example, me coming from poverty, having insecurities, being bullied in high school, being taken advantage of when I was a child, being in the abusive relationship, it's very easy for me to feel like I'm an imposter. It's very easy for me to feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not being defensive about a logical question. You're asking me what qualifies me, and I'm saying legitimately, I woke up one day and I was like, I should just tell people how I feel. That's my real answer. I was just like, hey, I've experienced a lot in my life, right? I've experienced a lot in my life. 10 years of an abusive relationship, growing up being bullied and teased and hating myself for about 3 decades, working with people who are TEDx talkers, award-winning, Grammy-nominated performers, creative people, successful people, millionaires, janitors, moms, dads, people from all different walks of life, right? My perspective is what gives me power. So if you'll notice, I'm not giving any medical prescriptions. If you actually get to know me, then you'll see what I'm about, right? So I'm not getting defensive. I'm just saying you're asking a question and I'm telling you legitimately. One day I woke up and I was like, I don't like how I feel alone. And I created content. I got over 1,000 followers and I started live streaming and I was like, you know what I should do with this? I should tell people how I'm feeling, how I navigate through it, and offer my perspective. Thank you. All right. So it's very easy to get into a space where you feel you are an imposter. A lot of us right now want to have more love and more happiness and more peace and more prosperity, more being able to understand that we know what we're doing, right? And so the way that we're going to get there is by looking at the underlying stuff, the nasty stuff, the funky stuff, the stuff that we don't like. People want to be happy and they avoid the sadness and the frustration and the anger. We've been trained by society to get to a place of I have to always look good. And if I look bad, then I hate that and I can never look bad. I want to know if you're open to actually going into the space of not caring that you look bad, and when you feel that loss of power, and when you feel insecurity, and when you feel anger, and when you feel like nobody understands you, and the emotions are very, very, very gigantic, if instead of just avoiding it and just ignoring it and going into the other space, if you can sit with it for a while, because it's a teacher, especially if you want to be happy right now, especially if you want peace right now. I feel like we need to really, really, really take a look at our pains and our frustrations as if they're in style, and we want to look at them and we want to acknowledge them because it is so deeply ingrained in our brain to always have things in order. And from what we've seen, it just doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. We cannot always look good and be attractive and be on point. My happiness, my peace, my prosperity comes from a place of for years and for years and for years, I doubted myself. I doubted myself so hard. I was so frustrated within myself. And from the ceremonies I've done, from the rituals I've done, from the therapy that I've done, from the yoga I've done, from the stretching I've done, from the seminars that I've gone to, from the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I paid, even when I really didn't even have money to be spending like that, I was just on a relentless mission to crack my code. I've realized that it all comes down to how we see ourselves. It all boils down to how we see ourselves. If we don't like ourselves, other people pick up on that. My voice needs to be a filter. I would love that. Message TikTok. It matters how you see yourself. And what I've realized from being a Scorpio stellium, having 7 planets in Scorpio, is that there might be a possibility the Scorpios look a little bit more in depth with things. And so I've been encouraged recently to tell you that for those of you that take notes, for those of you that listen to these live streams and hang out, and by the way, thank you so much for being here. For real, I love this family. I really do. When certain concepts or when certain awarenesses come into your head, do not just look at it and let it go by and just keep on going. When you feel that somebody told you that you were stupid, it is going to be your choice to either understand that your mom and your dad told you that you were stupid, or they communicated into a way to have you feel that you were stupid, or that somebody in your classroom said, hey, you're stupid, or something happened in your mind and you said, I'm not good enough. I failed. I'm a failure. I let somebody down. The subconscious mind is very, very tricky in the way that it creates stories around who we are. When you can realize that because this belief stems from your childhood, in the same way you learned how to walk, in the same way you learned how to talk, it has been a snowball effect. It has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's really, really important for you to consider also that when you start to tell yourself that you are smart, that when you start to look at yourself in the mirror and you say, look at how smart you are. For example, look at how smart everybody on here is by, instead of focusing on an algorithm of just like dancing and just hanging out, which is cool. Sometimes it's nice to just vibe out and just hang out and just laugh and get some laughs. But consider how smart you are, because while nobody else in your family or other people are doing whatever they're doing, they don't know what you're doing right now, that you are learning how to love yourself more, to be a better person, to let go of that anger, to let go of that deep-seated anger and that frustration. That we don't even have to tell people that we're doing this. How smart you are for being here. How smart you are when it's so difficult for you to talk about. That's so challenging for you to talk about that you don't get to talk about every single day. How smart you are. And I want for you to notice, for those of you who've been told that you're stupid, or who are in a relationship with somebody who does put you down, who gaslights you, to notice how it feels, if it feels uncomfortable when I tell you that you are smart. If it feels hard for you to receive. Or if you automatically go to, he's not talking to me. No, that couldn't possibly be. He's just doing a generic thing. That what we do is we downplay ourselves and we minimize ourselves and we play ourselves small. But when it comes to drama and when it comes to chaos, it's very, very easy for us to receive it and for us to hear it. You're uncomfortable? Good awareness. Breathe into it. Choose to be here. Choose to receive that I'm talking to you. Choose to receive that you deserve that. And the first time it feels uncomfortable. I was on a one-on-one today with somebody, and I was telling them a similar thing, and they were just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And it's like, how do you think that you're going to get to the happiness when you don't even feel that you deserve compliments and that you deserve to know that you're intelligent? What is intelligence? What is intelligence? Who defines intelligence? Take notes. Please take notes. I even have a notebook in my bio link if you really want to get that bio link. By the way, anybody who is booking time with me moving forward until further notice, I have a new thing that I'm going to be uploading that's going to be separate that you can pay for. but I have a map. I have a PDF file that I've created that shows you how I map, how I use my intelligence, emotional intelligence to get from point A to point B. And I'm also going to be including the workbook, the ebook that I have on setting boundaries, the power of setting boundaries. And the special that I have going on right now is when you tap that star up there and you join the VTP family. It's around $6. You get cool emojis and you can put pictures of your Aunt Janice up on there and different things that I've graphic designed. Afterwards, after you subscribe and join the VTP family, you're gonna tap that link in my bio. You're gonna get a free 15-minute call with me. But ask the people today how long I talked. It was definitely over 15 minutes, right? And then from there, I'm gonna send you a link. Instead of $60 for an hour, it's $30 for an hour. Okay, so tap that. And again, I'm also going to include a worksheet for you that's going to help. You can take this with you for the rest of your life to use your emotional intelligence to map out how to get from point A to point B to step into the unknown, and also the power of setting boundaries. So I am conscious of attracting narcissistic partners, how to escape it. What I would say from my experience, the reason why we attract people that are more on the narcissistic side, because we all have levels of narcissism, is that we don't know how to express our emotions. We don't know how to communicate in moments. We don't know how to stand up for ourselves in moments. There's also a deeper part of us. There's so many layers to it. There's so many different theories. When the one takeaway, and I would love for you, if you're taking notes, to take notes on this one. That the one thing that I learned from therapy that was really powerful was, the man said, consider the fact that sometimes we get into relationships to figure out why our parents acted the way that they did. And we are recreating over and over and over again this subconscious pattern. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the double tabs. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you. And my son who raised me was the angry person. Hey, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the gifts. What's up, Avon? Avondale? That other person was very angry and they communicated their anger, and that was a bad person. So in the last relationship I was in, I was communicating in the way that my biological mother communicated. What's up, Desiree? What's up, everybody? My at the time partner communicated in the way that my non-biological mother communicated, because just in case you haven't met me, hey, my name's Nikki Scorpio. I was raised by two women. I was raised by lesbians. I'm an artificial insemination. In fact, even my dad was gay. I'm the gay agenda. I'm unconditional love. Thank you. There's no such thing as an alpha male. Thank you. I love you too. So when you start to realize that on a subconscious level, you are looking to figure out why things happened in a certain way, that's a possibility. It's a possibility that we're trying to figure out. We're in a feedback loop of, I'm going to keep on recreating chaotic moments, dramatic moments, in order to figure out why this thing happened. That's one possibility. Possibility number two is that you feel that you don't deserve to have a loving, healthy relationship. The area from me that connects with me the most of why I got into that narcissistic relationship is because I truly interpreted this person incorrectly. Because I did not communicate. Because I was desperate for love. Because a part of me craved validation. Because I did not want to be alone. Because the few exciting moments were more important than getting beat down, getting attacked, getting hurt, getting frustrated, questioning my existence and all that different stuff. And on a spiritual side, what I realized is a narcissistic person is holding up a mirror to reflect back to say, this is how you feel about yourself. This is what you accept. This is your value system. This is how you feel about yourself. You feel that it's okay to treat yourself this way. You feel it's okay to be treated this way. And as frustrating as that is, when you actually take a good look at that, you'll realize if you didn't accept it, you wouldn't accept it. If you didn't like it, you wouldn't be with it. If you didn't feel that you deserved it, you wouldn't accept it. Lady on a Path, the way that I got to that place was because of abandonment issues, growing up in a broken home, from being taken advantage of by a family member for about 8 years, from growing up in a neighborhood where nobody else looked like me and I felt like I didn't belong and I felt like I didn't fit in, from being put down and bullied and teased when I was in high school. It's a combination of things over and over and over again. And when we don't take time to process it, when we don't take time to actually sit and think, how has this affected me? That's where what we do is we do ourselves a disservice and we say, oh, that's okay because I've been strong. I can just be strong and I can be strong and I can be strong and I can be strong. And that's not fair for yourself. You deserve better. And the person who's going to take you there is you. And in the same way you learn how to talk, in the same way you learn how to walk, in the same way you learn the patterns that were taught to you, this is where you are going to start asking yourself, how do I think differently? How can I get into a different space? How can I honor my emotions? For me, again, yesterday when I had the big emotional outburst that I had, because I was able to sit with it and be really frustrated and keep on trying and keep on wanting to figure it out, and just, it was messy at first and it was frustrating and it was aggravating, and I was communicating with the other person involved that I loved and talking with them, and they were talking back to me, and we're both emotionally intelligent people figuring it out, and there was emotions and there was anger and there was frustration, and we're in a nurturing, healthy relationship and we're figuring it out and we're talking about it, and then boom, all of a sudden something hit me and I was talking, and then all of a sudden I realized this comes from my last relationship, this feeling that I was feeling, this anger that I was feeling from when she was just having a conversation with me that shouldn't have brought up that anger, and this was a loving, intelligent person talking to me. This is where I was able to get big time healing. And then she asked me this question. She said, and I forget exactly how she said it, but she said something along the lines of, was this person really that hard on you? Was this person really, really this hard on you? Did they really abuse you that much? And the level, and drop an emoji if you know what I'm talking about or say yes. When you get into the triggered space, when you get into the trauma space, when you get into that really, 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 really challenging space, communicating, basic communication feels impossible. Basic communication feels impossible, doesn't it? It feels impossible. Like answering a basic question feels so difficult and so challenging. What's up, Chakra Guy? What's up? All that I could do in that moment was just breathe and just cry my eyes out. And the reason why we do not tell ourselves that we are stupid when we cry, that we are weak when we cry, is because what you are doing in that moment is you are bringing up that traumatized child into the spotlight and to say, hey, be seen and be heard right now. Be seen and be heard. No, this wasn't when I was live. I wanted to go live yesterday. It was a mess. It was messy. So when we are able to go into these spaces, this is where what we're used to doing is we're used to working and we're used to hustling and we're used to people pleasing and we just want to be around people and we've been secluded for way too long and we're alone for way too long and we're frustrated. Well, on a planetary astrological level, and if you don't agree with that and I can just be a weird family member, remember when Jesus was unconditional love? Yeah, this is that, right? On an astrological level, all the planets are direct right now. So whatever people are showing you, that's really what's going on. That's really what it is. There's no illusions. There's no subconscious stuff. That's what's going on. That's how people feel. So that part of me that was reacting in that moment, that was so frustrated, the reason why I had the emotional outburst that I had was because in the relationship that I had been in, I had tried hundreds of times to create, to build, to express, to find new creative things. I had original ideas. I had brilliant ideas. I had songs that are still in my archives that are amazing songs. I had projects that I wanted to release. I had ideas that were original ideas that had never been done that would have been so incredibly cool. I wanted to do a performance piece that was like, if you've ever been to Vegas and you've seen, what's it called? Cirque du Soleil. I wanted to do something like that where you have like the speakers inside your chair and you're getting like, the one that I saw specifically was an interpretation of the Beatles, and being able to do a whole entire musical album project where there's a story of a life from beginning to end, and then there's an interpretation on the stage, and doing something like that. There's apps that I wanted to create that are original ideas. And all of these ideas, when I would talk to people, when I would talk to investors, when I would talk to business people, all of it was, oh my God, that's so amazing. And the problem in the relationship was that it lacked consistency. It lacked consistency. And I was too insecure to not know how to set boundaries. I was too insecure to see this. And this is what I want for you to realize, if you're open to it, and drop an emoji if you can really, really take this and take this powerfully with you and download this and integrate this with you. The reason why you are frustrated with other people's behaviors, oh, this is such a good one. The reason why you are frustrated that other people do what they do is because you see it, which makes you a leader. You see that it's wrong, which makes you a leader. You know that the energy is off, which makes you a leader. It's really that simple. Shift. Do you get that? You are frustrated when people call you stupid because you know you're not stupid. That's why you get frustrated, you brilliant, infinite human being. Do you get that? Are you starting to see that? The reason why you get frustrated when they call you stupid is because logically you know that you're not stupid. The reason why you get frustrated when you want to create a video, but then you think, oh my God, this person's going to put down my physical appearance, is because you know that you're not ugly. And that's why you get frustrated. Who are you frustrated with? Be honest about it. Are you frustrated with them, or are you frustrated internally within yourself because you resent yourself and it's not in style? Oop, it's not in style. It's not in style. It's not in style. Yeah, it's not in style. Hey, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Do you get this? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Can you receive this, or is this difficult for you to receive? Be honest. Your family's not on here. They're miserable. Stop caring what other people think. If you don't get it, let me know. Be honest. Take notes. Level up. Let's go. If you don't receive this, if you do not receive this compliment, if it's hard for you to receive this compliment right now, you are surrounded by people who are intelligent, who are taking notes. You are surrounded by people just like you, who come from different parts of the world, who are here to change, who are here to develop, who are here to evolve. All of us have felt not good enough. It's difficult to hear. Good awareness. Well then, if your body says it's not true, if your body says, no, he's not right. No, so many people have showed us and told us that we're stupid, that we're not good enough. Why is it that we see you? Why is it that we acknowledge you? Write in the comment section, I am seen, I am heard, I am smart. If you're open to doing this, you don't have to, but I'm telling you, if you're not used to it, type it in. And understand, you are as good as the company you keep. You are surrounded by people who are smart. You are surrounded by people who are successful. You are smart in your own way. You are intelligent in your own way. You are brilliant in your own way. If you think that you are not smart, if you think that you are not good enough, if you think that you are abandoned, if you think that you are a failure, if you think that you don't deserve success, if you think that you are a fraud, then how come nobody ever gave you the rules to your life and the blueprint for your life and how to be effective for your life? In the same way that people who have allergies can't eat certain foods, you are a human being who doesn't thrive off of chaos and drama, but it was given to you anyway. It's the exact same thing. If you are thirsty, you drink water. They just didn't give you the mentorship and the information on knowing how to navigate in your own way. It's very simple. And when you take this understanding with you for the rest of your life and you download this and you integrate this and you take this into your existence, it's not 10,000 steps, my love. It's step number one. It's just admitting to the fact that you are seen, that you are heard, that you are loved, that you are smart in your own way. And you have a handful of people or one person that you just want love from who is putting you down. Why do people put us down? 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 Tell me, you tell me, you tell me, you tell me. Hey, what's up, Nusian? Nice to see you. I'm going to get this ingrained into your brain, into your soul, until you get this. Because they're miserable, because they're projecting, because they're frustrated. And somebody says something up here. Hold on, let me pin this comment. I believe some leaders are natural born and want nothing to do with leading. Some people, you can lead and not need to be on stage. You can lead and not need to show people that you are a leader. When I say a leader is whatever you want it to be. Baseline, you're a good person. Baseline, you have a good heart. Baseline, you want to make the world a better place. So baseline, because that is your definition. If that's all that you know about yourself, that you are a good person, that you don't intentionally go out of your way to hurt other people, then you can start to make choices for how can I find my way? If you need to take medication, it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that you honor the fact that you take it. If a doctor gave you a diagnosis, then you self-accept who you are instead of having it be a shameful thing. Like there's a negative connotation with autism when Albert Einstein had autism. There's a negative connotation with schizophrenia when indigenous culture, they tell you a different story about schizophrenia and they connect with spirit and they see spirit different. And mediums will tell you, there's one on here right now who will tell you the people who are schizophrenic or who have multiple personality disorder often connect and they see spirit. And I'm not a doctor and I don't give medical advice, but I'm just telling you there's a different way to perceive it. Every single definition that puts you down, that gives you a negative connotation, you must go back and self-correct and self-adjust and reinterpret. Because nobody ever gave me my definition about me is blank. Because no one ever told me my true loving definition, realistic definition about myself, my definition in 2023, my definition today that I'm taking with me, not for one day, not for 1 week, not for 1 month, not for 1 year, but for the rest of my life until further notice is I am this way. I am this way. People who love me move this way. My boundaries are this way and this way. I love my spirituality. If you disagree with my spirituality and can't critically think, go hang out with your people who are love and light and toxic positivity and trying to control all of religion and all of spirituality because they don't understand certain things. Let people be, let people live, let people love, let people hate, let people cry, let people weep, let people do what they do. This is your time because when you love yourself, the rest of the world occurs differently. You've been on autopilot for too long. You've been on autopilot for too long. Hey, what's up, Mary Jane? Nice to see you. It's cool that you want to take care of other people. I respect that. We love that about you. But is there anything that anyone could say about you right now, in your life, if they found out details about you that would get you defensive, drop an emoji or say yes. Be real about it. Acknowledge it. Society tells you to never look at this stuff. For me, the reason why I practice emotional intelligence is simply because when I look at the parts that's frustrating, I never have to be insecure about it. Good. Look at you being a leader. Look at you being vulnerable in a powerful way. Love that. Supply and demand. Don't be sad about it. Or you know what? Actually, if you want to be sad about it, be sad about it. But I'm saying, consider after you feel the full sadness, set a timer on your clock to be like, hey, you know what? For 5 minutes, I'm just going to be really sad and be the biggest victim and be so frustrated and be miserable about everything. And then afterwards, I'm going to tell myself a new story. I have a feeling of people. Your narcissistic husband wants a divorce. What do we say? What's the new understanding that we say after we got the truth? What do we do? What do we do now that we have the truth? Hey, Ann, thank you for subscribing. Make sure that if you want to book time with me, you tap that link in my bio and then you get that free 15-minute call. What do we say? What do we say after people say, I don't want to be with you anymore? What's the new energy? What's the new vibe? What's up, Jeremiah? Thank you for the mirror. Thank you. Adios. Hasta nunca. Adieu. Sayonara. Gotta go. Yes. How much more energy are you going to give to yourself? Let's talk about this conversation because I haven't talked about this on a live stream in a while. And I want for you to take notes because I drop these gems. Hold on, sucker. Look at your battery. I know I got jokes and I got a dry sense of humor. It's all good. I'm moisturized. So the dry sense of humor and the moisturizing, it balances out. Come on, that's a joke. Get over it. I'm just joking. Okay, so. Hey, what's up, Smart Hawaiian? Nice to see you again. Been a while. So look at your energy. And again, you can get this on a piece of paper. You can put this in your notes on your phone, whatever you like. Or you can support Nikki Scorpio and go to that bio link right there and get the graphic designed journal. This $8.88. Look at your energy as a battery. Look at your energy as a battery that's fully charged at 100%. Think about the people in your life that you think about. We have tens of thousands of thoughts. They say anywhere from 70,000 to 90,000 thoughts per day. And most of those are repetitive thoughts. Yes, Mirage, thank you for asking. Yes, please do screen record it. We're also streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Maybe that's it. Jen, who's in here, will tell you. But yeah, if you do screen record it and there's some good stuff, you want to post it or share it with me, tag me. I love when people screen record and tag me. And I'll repeat it. So everybody, so think about this. You wake up, your battery's at 100%, regardless of the past, regardless of yesterday, regardless of all the other stuff. Blank canvas. There she is right there. We love Jen. Give her a follow. She's amazing. Get some more divine feminine. Get a shaman in your life. So, and there's also a link in my bio if you want to get emotional intelligence and shamanism and Reiki and mediumship. And it's a pretty amazing deal. Link in bio. So, let's say, for example, like yesterday, right? I communicated because I love being transparent. I love being honest with you. Hey, what's up, Scotty? Nice to see you. So it's a boo Facebook. I understand. But I have to hit the grandmas and grandpas over there on Facebook because there's a lot of angry senior citizens over there on Facebook clicking the angry emoji thinking that they're really doing something in life. So we got to get them too, right? So thank you, All Intuition. Thank you. This is not a paid actor. I'm good at what I do, baby. Let's go. And you deserve to connect and change your perspective. So 100% battery. Yesterday got into a disagreement. Yesterday got very heated. Yesterday got very emotional. And we navigated through that. And we were able at the end of this very difficult, very frustrating, very challenging, big snotty tears. If you'd seen me, you'd be like, oh my God. Childhood, big tears. Like that. So I wake up in the morning and I feel a little bit of it. I feel a little bit of that energy. So now I'm down to 95%, 90%, maybe even 80%. And I'm sitting with this feeling and I'm greeting the day and I'm doing what I do and I'm starting my day off and I've identified how I feel. Now, old Nikki would have just taken his coffee, would have just gone about his day and just moved forward and would have just been strong. The issue with this, and I want for you to take notes about this, the issue with this is that when you just go about your day, and like Kansas said, you have that emotional hangover and do nothing about it, is that when the light turns red, if my battery, let's say that it was 20% that I felt. If that light turns red, I'm like, oh, great. And that's not a big deal, but let's say that that's 5%. Let's say that's 75%. Then, let's say somebody cuts me off in traffic and I look over at them and I'm like, ugh, what a jerk. 70%, 5 more percent. Let's say that I have a job that I'm not thrilled about and I already know how my coworkers are going to be. So I go into this job and I get there and they don't acknowledge me. They don't like me. They don't talk to me. They have a negative attitude, negative energy, frustrating, not my people, blah, 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 human conversation and dialogue, all that different stuff. And then they talk to me a certain way. And because I hadn't been doing the work, I take that as a truth. I get defensive. 10% of my battery, 10% of my energy. Now I'm down to what, 60%? I keep on getting around other people and I keep on giving away my energy because I keep on validating that life is fair. Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. Nobody understands me. I'm a victim. My life is hard. People are mean. People hurt me. People attack me because that comes from childhood. The person who's successful gets in line at this job that I'm working at. Let's say it's a sales job. They're looking for somebody that's good at sales. And they see me, but my energy's off. And it looks like I'm not really having a good day. They see the person next to me who's been doing the work and they talk to them like, hey man, I like the way that you're doing this. Is this your full-time job? Yeah, but oh, you looking for something different? Cool. I'm looking for somebody that meets your bill, that fits your description. 3 times the pay. All that person has to do is actually be willing and ready to receive love and say, I deserve to be paid that much, which you might think that that's silly and that's crazy. You'd be surprised how many people have imposter syndrome and think that they don't deserve the success that they've always been talking about their entire life. This is why you feel stuck. This is why you don't get the opportunities that you want. This is why you feel disconnected. Are you starting to see how important your energy is? Can you think how many of you have a mom or a dad or a son or a daughter or a relationship or a friend that every single day you think about them and you are concerned about them? Be real. Drop an emoji or say yes. For real. Just be honest. Call it out. Call it out. Good. Then you start to realize you're operating. And tell me, how much percent out of 100% do you think in your day, while you're living, while you're walking, while you're working, while you're loving, while you're at home, while you're watching TV, while you're Netflix and chilling, while you're doing whatever you're doing, right? What is the number, 0 through 100, of how much percent, if your energy were at 100%, how much energy, what is the number of the percent of how much energy is in your mind of how much thought and how much energy you give to that other person? At least 50. Why is Justin Bieber playing right now? That's funny. Oh, there we go. Just the phone right here. 12%, 90%, 100%, 100%, 75%, at least half, 50. And then you say they take and they take and they take and they take. Who knows what I'm about to say? Because you need to hang out with the Scorpio a little bit more. Are they taking? Are they taking the energy? Are they energy vampires? You tell me. No. Nope. 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 No, they're not. No. I'm going to trigger you and I'm going to frustrate you, then you're going to love me. You are, well, you're like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now. I know. I'm showing my age. But you know what? I'm not ashamed. You're giving it away. You're doing it. I don't care about my boundaries. I don't respect myself at all. I'm desperate. I'm a victim. I desperately need love. Anybody who doesn't show me love is a hater. Look at all these haters. Let me sprinkle a little water in this hater seed right now to give more acknowledgement to my haters. Thank you, Lucian. I love you. I appreciate you so much. I see you in here. Thank you. Can you take a look at this and really take responsibility in a powerful way? Because I got so annoyed when I heard that. You are opening the door and you are saying, here's all my energy. I don't respect myself at all. Walk all over me. Oh, you're having a bad day? Please. Right here. Go ahead. Take it out on me, please. I deserve it. No, you should just be able to just dump all of your toxic emotions and all of your toxic energy all over me. No, you don't have to process any of your childhood wounds. I'm desperate. Cancel, delete, clear, goodbye. No, you are allowing it. And if you actually really spoke up and really stood up for yourself, this is why you get pain in your throats. This is why you have issues with your throat, because your throat chakra is telling you to communicate. This is why sometimes some of you get into arguments with people and the next day your throat hurts, because your throat's like, why are we talking this way? Why did we just explode? Your body, if you're in pain, if you're frustrated, your body is telling you, I don't like this. Do you get that? Your body is telling you, I don't like this. It's so important for you to understand this. In the same way, the reason why I practice and why I teach emotional intelligence, let me tell you something. Human beings drop clues. Human beings drop clues. What if you caused the harm while being a self-sacrificer? What if you caused the harm while being a self-sacrificer? While being a self-sacrificer, you're sacrificing yourself and you're causing harm. If you overreact, you apologize, you take responsibility. If you communicate how you truly feel and that person explodes, that's not your fault, unless there's something that I'm missing. Flores, Floor Empress, see, you're starting to get it. The belief of I'm stupid is going to sabotage everything. What does that do to their child? So many trauma triggers, feel it and heal it. I want for us to start really looking internally to say, what am I allowing? What am I allowing? What am I allowing? Let me share something that I was sharing with the client. I just got off the call. When I started my spiritual journey, There was a moment where I was a brand ambassador. Brand ambassadors are people, if you go to Whole Foods, if you go to health stores, if you go to like GNC or Vitamin Shops or Whole Foods or even Costco, they have them. Brand ambassadors are people who have products and they go around and they share it with you from a place of excitement. So I worked with the company that had different other companies that they would partner me with that were related to food, health, and wellness. So I'd get like free product, I'd get paid good money, starting anywhere from like 20, 30, $40 an hour, and you could set your own rates. It was really cool, right? So the issue was one day when I was going into this job, I was going to sell this product that makes you a better person. Like it helps you. It gives you more happiness. It gives you more awareness, right? Doesn't matter what it is. The point is to say, I realized I'd gotten a stressful email and I read that email and I was stressed and I was frustrated. And then I realized that I was going into a job to sell people something that was going to make them a better person in some way, shape, or form. And came on here. The definition of a narcissist is somebody who doesn't care about other people. And there's more to it than that, but I'm like, by definition, it's just factually not correct. But people who are more narcissistic just don't know how to show their feelings and their emotions. But I realized in this moment at this job I was going into, I'm selling a product that's going to make people a better person, and I don't feel like I'm good enough. And then, and this is where, can you put in an emoji or say yes if this resonates? How many times have you gotten around family? How many times have you gotten around other people? How many other times have you been in circumstances and you have not been present? You have been frustrated. You were aggravated. You were stressed out by an email that you got, frustrated by somebody else's words, and you were just hanging out there doing your best to avoid how frustrated you felt all the time, you say. All the time in the past, I hope, is the new belief. How to know when your intuition is speaking that something isn't right? It's right away. It's right away, it's right away, and it's quick. And then after that, we go to, oh, but what are people gonna think? It's right away. So now, Flores, I hope you're Flora Empress, I hope you're taking notes. Taking a look at how this has affected you. And this is I feel like from my experiences with other people, this is where I feel like we can be different in a good way. Because again, society says always be attractive, always be pretty, always be beautiful. Don't talk about the ugly things. Don't talk about the frustrating things. Don't focus on that. Be strong, be pretty, be attractive, be upbeat, be outgoing. Take more medication. If you're sad, perk yourself up. Don't ever feel the sadness. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. It's a terrible thing. So I get a piece of paper and I sit with that, and I think my old belief is I felt that I would give that I was frustrated in moments all the time. Like how you said. I said, how has this affected you? You said all the time. So then you put that belief of I am frustrated all the time when I'm around other people because of other issues. However you want to phrase it. You know how to phrase it in a way where you can understand and you can get it. Then from there, you draw a line to categorize. How has this affected my finances? How has this affected my career? How has this affected my friendships? What kind of people have I connected with in my past experiences from this belief without me even realizing it? How many times have I gotten into arguments because I was already in a bad mood and I didn't take time to process my feelings and process my emotions? You're a generator. That's what's up. I'm a manifesting generator. What I would say for you then, me rage, what I would say for you to simple understanding, is really, really understanding how powerful it is for you to feed off of the energy around you, which is why it's really, really important for you to set boundaries. How do you not lose your mind and lash out? How do you control the anger? I'm actually going to be doing a class that's going to give a full breakdown of emotional intelligence, of all the different emotions, and how to process and how to navigate. For me, it's just pausing. It's the power of the pause. I pause before I respond. The shift that I made in my life after I had this awareness, the way that I was able to change it was by me realizing, for that person who said, man, I've done that all the time. Like, I get into circumstances and I'm in a bad mood, or I'm frustrated and I don't like how I feel, and there's people around me and nobody knows how I'm feeling. This is where you can change it. And I'm going to share this with you for free, because it cost me $1,500 to take a class. And I don't think you should pay $1,500, do you? No, of course not, because you deserve it. Because I know what you're going to do with this information. Good. So, simple. And this is a routine. And we now love routines. This isn't mom and dad's routine. This isn't family's routine. This isn't society's routine. This is your honorable routine. This is your dedication. This is your new valuing system, that you value yourself. So you don't have to wish upon a star and hope and hope and hope and fall into the feedback loops. Before we get around other people, we identify an emotion. We identify a feeling. This loves you too. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for those of you who've been booking time with me. When you subscribe, go to my profile and tap that link in the bio to book time with me. You get a 15-minute call, and I go over 15 minutes, and then from there, it's $30 for an hour. I'm running a special. It's normally $60. Connect with me. Let's go. Let's level up. 2 calls for the price of 1. Okay? So, I identify a feeling before I get around other people. When I'm angry, when I'm sad, when I'm grieving, when I have anxiety, I take time before I get in front of other people. For those of you who have kids, it's the same. Even if you only have 5 seconds. They've done studies about people who have more emotional intelligence, and those people take 3 to 5 seconds before they get in front of other people. Hey, the Love Conduit's in here. Make sure that you follow the Love Conduit if she's still in here. She makes really cool bracelets. They're stackable, like this one right here, like this one right here. Love her. Also, if you are a person who has a product, you have something that you want for me to promote and talk about, I do have a P.O. box in this lovely state of Nevada. DM me for information if you want for me to be a walking, talking billboard for you. There she is right there. The Love Conduit. All right, so. Identify a feeling. Identify the emotion. This, I'm telling you, I did this after I got out of the abusive relationship. After I left the nice neighborhood, 69th and Broadway, Upper West Side, Upper West Side, Upper West Side, Upper West Side, you know, right over there by where they have the banana puddings, you know, by like the hot dog place over there, Upper West Side. And I moved into the projects in Coney Island because that was the only place that I could afford at that time. And I sat with myself and I'm like, I'm never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever in my life ever going to ever be frustrated ever, ever again, ever. I am never going to make a choice and then be frustrated that another person doesn't like the decision that I made. I can always take responsibility if I hurt somebody's feelings, if I overreact. I am never going to make a choice that my intuition told me to make and then that other person doesn't like it. And I apologize because my intuition told me. I apologize because a higher power told me. I apologize because life, God, everything that is directing me in a path and this person doesn't like it because they have a fear of success. Never again. This is why you ask yourself a powerful question for those of you that are taking notes to say, what is my relationship with anger? What is my relationship with anger? This is an open-ended question, an open-minded question for you to just look and for you to observe of how easy it is for you to get angry in certain circumstances. And when you know that you should communicate your anger in other circumstances, you don't. You can ask my girlfriend. I tell her, communicate. Tell me that you're angry. Express it. Show it. Speak up. Tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. Tell me you don't like it. There was one time randomly in a conversation where I don't even remember what it is that she said, but she brushed by it and kind of laughed about it. And I was like, hold on, stop. You didn't like that I did something. Stop and go back. And instead of laughing when you say it, go back and you tell me. Tell me that you didn't like this. Tell me that you feel this way. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Call me out. Hold me accountable. Let me learn some lessons. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. I want to learn some lessons too. The universe is like, really? I'm like, okay, hold on. No one wants to hear when I'm angry. No, that's not true. That's not true. There exists within you a belief that there is a part of you that's shameful when you get angry. And the second thing that I would say, Chakra Gal, is I would consider the fact that if other people don't like that you're angry, like this dog who wants to go out. Hold on one second. Hold on. I got to let this dog out in just a second. That when people don't like your anger, that you go back and you tell people, I'm angry, and it's healthy. Thank you. I'm angry and it's healthy. I'm angry. It's healthy. I like to be. I'm angry. There's nothing wrong with my anger. The person that makes you angry owns you. If you don't speak up your anger, sure. But when we own our anger, who can own us? I used to get horn honks in New York. Now I get dog barks. Come on, man. Anger is a great thing. But when you take out your anger on somebody else, you've given away your power. Why would being angry be a negative thing? Because somebody else is having a good day? Because somebody's having a good day? So it's you and it's you and it's you and it's you. And the rest of the 7,999,999,000 plus people, or however many babies are being born every second, you're not responsible for any of us. You're not responsible for any of us. Why am I angry? Who says that I'm angry? I'm communicating anger. I'm chilling. I'm saying people walk around not wanting to look at anger. People who were raised by narcissistic parents, by parents who do not show their feelings and their emotions, are raging inside, and they don't want to show it to other people because they want to show people that they're good people. People who don't know how to show their emotions collect human beings to show the rest of society subconsciously that they are worthy of love. Anger is powerful. Anger is sacred. Anger is how I get on here. I connect it to my joy. You're not used to showing your anger. Chakra Gal, I would say consider the fact that when you get angry, there's still a part of you that hopes that you're not going to offend other people. If other people don't like your anger, then set boundaries and move forward. How is it in certain circumstances we can be pushed further enough to really explode on people and give away all of our power? But when somebody that we like, somebody that we love, an opportunity that we want, when we're desperate and we don't like how somebody talks to us, oh, we can't show them that we're angry. We get really small. We play quiet. Doesn't it hurt others? But are we responsible for other people's feelings? Are you responsible for my happiness? Think about it. Are you responsible for my joy? Should my day be determined by you? Should my life be determined by your perspective? When perspectives can be changed all the time. Human beings are fickle. People are indecisive. People are inconsistent. So in the same way, you're not responsible for my mood. I'm not responsible for yours. And you can say that to a narcissistic person, to an abusive person, to a toxic person. In the same way, you are not responsible for my emotions. I'm not responsible for yours. You want to know a big change that's going to help you? After you speak how you speak, instead of laughing or instead of hoping that they're okay, and fawning and be like, oh, are you okay? Did I hurt your feelings? Sit in that and don't say anything and just stare. How can I show anger in the right place? Good question. What a great question to take with you. I can communicate. I can go up to people to say, if it's a relationship or somebody that I know, to say, hey, I just want to let you know, I just want to communicate with you. I don't even know why. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. There's something going on. I've been working on it. I'm still able to have a good time and go out and connect with people. I just want to communicate this with you. Like I'm realizing that I'm angry. So you might see me move a little bit slower. And then in that way, I can turn life into a game and I can do certain things and I can do breath work and I can tap and I can go into a private room. I can go into a bathroom. I can do breath work. I can tap right here on my chest. I can go like this. I can just keep on breathing into my body to slow down my actual brain. I can remind myself of times where I had good moments where people were complimenting me and loving me and giving me opportunities and stuff like that and connect with that feeling and do all of that. I can visualize myself in a space where I'm happy and focus on that. I can compliment other people. I can go find some supplements. I can do some exercise. I can go outside. I can open up the door. I can open up the window and breathe. I can just live my life and have the rose water. I got options, just like you. I got options. You have options. But if you're walking around with the belief of anger is a bad thing, you don't stand a chance. Got a little bit crooked here. Do you get that though? Anger is a powerful thing. Don't be ashamed of your anger. When we are expressing ourselves, we're not thinking about the outcome. Do you understand that? And if you don't understand that, let me know. But when we are communicating who we are, when we are expressing ourselves, we're not thinking, I hope that they like me and I hope that I don't offend anybody. Can we sometime talk about how to handle the millions of people? It's a pretty intense conversation. Projecting anger, taking out your anger on somebody else because you don't like their words more so you don't understand them is insecurity. I'm so fascinated by the fact that people take pride in things that are just like negative associations. You can project whatever beliefs you want to about your life and just be good with the fact that you're taking joy in the fact that you're cruel. Fantastic. Right? Projecting anger on other people, projecting insecurity onto other people. Same thing. If somebody says you are stupid and you go, you're stupid, you're insecure. User 468, what I would say, if you say you're always angry, say in the past I've always been angry. You want yourself, please do not minimize how powerful your subconscious mind is. Your subconscious mind taught you that you could walk and you could talk. Your subconscious mind tells you that people don't understand you and people don't get you and people do what people do. In the past, you were always angry. You're getting better at understanding your anger. For me, where I would go to is there's something in your past or something in possibly in your childhood or in another relationship or something happened in your life and you never actually had the time to process your emotions and process your feelings and process how you felt about it. It just occurred to me that people doing lives are looking at themselves the whole time. Trippy, yeah, what's up, yo? That's why I always do my best for you to feel like you know me. So what we can do with that information, if you say that I'm angry all the time, and our new belief is I'm getting better at understanding my anger, and I love to understand my anger, and I'm getting better at understanding my emotions every day, is I would go to a space of before I get around other people, I want to remember one moment, no matter how blurry or how clear, when I was a child when I felt angry. And one of the things that I started doing, and I talk about this when you book time with me, is really going back as if you are the parent to yourself and talking to that younger version of yourself after he or she or they walked away. And going to talk to them to say, hey, I know you're frustrated. I know how much you want their love. I know how you feel. I want for you to go back and tell them how you feel. And this is what I did. And I gave little Nikki, I'm like, here's a microphone. And I'm going to turn up the volume because they want to hear you. I want for you to tell them everything. I want for you are me and I am you. I want for you to tell them how this has affected you. I want for you to tell them how frustrated you have been from the words that they spoke to you. You don't need to be politically correct. You don't need to be spiritually correct. You don't need to show them that you're a good person and you're humble and God loves you. No, 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 no. God loves your anger. The world loves your anger. Love yourself and the rest will follow. Love yourself and real will recognize real. Love recognizes love. Turn up the volume. They're not going to attack you. I'm here to protect you. I'm you from the future. I'm here for you. You're safe. Tell them everything, every detail. Yell, scream, rage, roar. Let it out. Cry, shaky. Tell them everything. Over and over and over again until you feel peaceful. And maybe it's just 30 seconds a day. Maybe it's a 5-minute meditation because you're busy. Maybe it's 15 minutes. Maybe it's every single time that you have a moment where there's nothing going on and you just visualize yourself doing it until it becomes easier and easier and easier and you actually feel the emotional connection and you get the release. And as you continue to do this, you tell that younger version of yourself, look at how smart you are. Ooh, somebody feels this. Good. Release the tears. Don't shame yourself. Look at how smart you are. Look at how protected you are. Look at how respected you are. Look at how when you speak your voice, people love what you have to say. Look at how intelligent you are in your own way. Look at how brilliant and resilient you are. Look at how resilient you are. Look at how hopeful and optimistic you are. Look at what happens when you speak your truth. You get truthful people around you. People love when you communicate your emotions. Look at how much healthier you are now that you're expressing your anger and your sadness and you're healing this and expressing it. Look at how much you deserve to be around people who are loving and nurturing. Look at how uncomfortable it was for you, and you just kept on telling yourself this, and you kept on breathing into it and saying, okay, this is weird for me, but I can accept this. Hey, what's up, Morgan? What's up, Mal Pal? Nice to see you. What's up, everybody? Thank you for the love. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for real. Thank you. Do you see how you can do this? Does this feel doable? Does this feel possible? There's a different world outside of your world, my love. There is a different world outside of your world. You know how they say the grass is greener on the other side? The grass is greener on your side when you choose it to be as your perspective, when you allow to nurture your garden. It's your choice. Fear has held me back, but I'm going to speak from now on. Do you know? This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Let me see. Is it LMT or IMT 2038? I want for you, if you're open to it, either on your notes section in your phone, or if you have a notebook, or if you're going to go to Nikki Scorpio's profile and get a notebook for yourself for $8.88 on Amazon and support a Scorpio and support yourself. I want for you right now in this moment to make a mental note of the positive outcome when you speak up for yourself. Create the why. Create the why. Why am I speaking up? Why? What's one benefit of you communicating to people? I'll tell you one that applies in business. You become a boss. When you speak up, you're not desperate. When you speak up, you're not desperate. When you speak up, you let people know that you have options. When you speak up, you see people's true feelings. Are you ready for that? Hey, thank you, JD. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, for real. Thank you. Awake 22, what I would say from my experience coming from poverty and hanging out with millionaires and billionaires, real recognizes real. Anybody, no matter how much money, no matter how they look physically, anybody that you want to associate with doesn't have time to look at your physical appearance and the clothing that you wear in the bank account. Like, I've hung out with millionaires and billionaires when I had like $20 in the bank account and they loved every single word. And I was like a better time than all the company that they had kept. And they're like, oh my God, you're so raw. Your energy is so raw. How raw. New chapter, baby. Let's go. I want for you to get in your mind and to make a mental note and to even write it down to say, what are the benefits going to be when I speak up? You are going to connect with other people who match your energy and match your vibration. You're going to connect with more people who got their stuff together. Are you ready to be around people who got their stuff together? Are you? Or are you still going to play small and say, no, I'm humble. I'm just going to be humble for the rest of my life because the good Lord just wants for me to play small like a tiny little cricket? No! False. Not provable. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Arndell? Thank you. I refuse. I love that you love my sense of humor. And I love people from the South, so no disrespect intended. I was just in North Carolina for quite a while. I love the South. I love my Southern people. All right? So, like this lovely Scorpio Stellium Shaman Reiki Master Medium right here says, connect with me. I love this. I love connecting with you. I love seeing people, and the level of people, it's different every single time. is different every single time. You could be a mom, you could be a dad, you could be a business owner, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be just like a spiritual person who just wants to see what's possible. There's couples who book time with me. There's like grandmas and grandpas who are like, yeah, I'm like 70 years old, but man, I just want to have peace right now. And I like your energy. I like your conversation. There's people that are more on the Christian side, that are Baptist, that are born again, that are more like, you know what? Some of the spiritual stuff you talk about, I don't really agree with, but I like your perspective and your conversation. $1 million deals and are like, man, I'm tired of being a woman in this business world with these morons who play me small, but they hired me here. And this person wants to give this other person the promotion, but I know that I'm worth it. And I'm like, you speak up and you either get the truth or you start your own business like many other people before you. Scorpio to Scorpio, what's in a booking? Well, there's when you tap the link in my bio, there's a calendar. There's a time schedule in accordance with your time zone that you're in. It's done via Zoom. If you do not want to be on video, I'm not going to pressure you. What we talk about is emotional intelligence. And what that means in just simple human form is there are some questions in the form that you fill out so I can understand where you're at. And then when you're talking to me, telling me your intention, where you're at, what I do is I'm listening for your language. I'm listening for the belief systems that you carry. I'm listening for your perspective on certain circumstances. And then when you say certain things, when you say certain phrases, when you communicate in a certain way, that when you're done talking, that I can make the connection for you to show you how this applies to all the different aspects of your life and give you a realistic way to actually move forward. And I'm doing a special right now for anybody who is booking time with me that I'm going to give you a worksheet that I'm going to be releasing soon. That is a form to help you map that will help you get from point A to point B by asking different questions, by being able to have a certain concept, a certain perspective in your mind, and also the ebook that I have on the power of setting boundaries. It's normally $60. However, I know where we're at right now and everybody's in a different space. So a cool way that you can get a deal is when you subscribe right up there and you tap that star up there. Yes, All Intuition is not a paid actor. I go well over 15 minutes sometimes. That what you're going to do is you tap that star up there, you become part of the VTP family. And then from there, what you're going to do is you are going to tap that 15-minute bio link in the book Time With Me section. Gavin knows, he just connected with me. And so hold on, Sam, I got you. Hold on. So subscribe, $6 to subscribe. Do that. Become part of the VTP family. You get cool emojis that I've graphic designed. And then from there, you're going to go to my bio link. You're going to tap the bio link and you are going to get a 15-minute call with me. You're going to fill out some quick information. And then afterwards, I'm going to send you a link for $30 an hour instead of $60 an hour because you support me and I want to honor you. And so that we can honor each other and level up in this way. I also have package deals. If you got a lot to unpack, that's also available in there. And also if you want to get emotional intelligence and you want to connect in the spiritual side to connect with a legitimate, certified, authentic shaman, Reiki master, and medium who's also in here as well, that is also in my bio link. Thank you, The Love Conduit. Thank you, Jamie. Okay. Need a rocket emoji? I got you. It's a good deal. $30 for an hour instead of $60. Technically, it's $35. And again, I go over the time slot because I want for you to get it because I love you, because the more information I give, the more love I receive, because the more gems I drop, the more gems I receive, and I drop the gems like a clumsy jeweler. Okay? So, can you see now that when you take time to set boundaries instead of giving away your energy? Hey, thank you, Mosaic, for subscribing. Thank you. When you understand that you are a battery, do you know that human beings are actually electric? They tell us that we're water. Do you know that we're electric? Do you know that we have electrons in our body? Do you know that your breath connects with those electrons and you can charge yourself up? Do you know that when you let of breath and electrons and electronic and what you can do with your energy, and when you strengthen your beliefs around your energy, and when you all the different conversations. And I'm like, perfect. I'm glad that you don't believe in spirituality and you think that sound frequencies are stupid. I actually want to introduce you to Dr. Luc Montagnier, the Pulitzer Award winning scientist who proved and discovered and brought the attention to the HIV AIDS virus, and actually has a documentary that's for free on YouTube. And if you type in water memory documentary, it's about 50 minutes. You've got 50 minutes, right? Time is an illusion. You've got some time on your hands. And when you go watch this documentary, you will see all the other dozens of scientists who were saying, Dr. Luc Montagnier has lost his mind. This old man has just lost his mind. And he was like, okay, cool. We'll take this sound recording of this MP3 I just recorded from this water. I just put the AIDS virus in there. I'm going to send it off to this laboratory, thousands of miles away. I want for you to play this sound recording in your water. I want for you to just play it in your distilled water, see what happens. And these scientists are like, this guy's lost his mind. Grandpa's off his rocker. They're like, sure, whatever, helps you sleep at night. Grandpa played the sound. Guess what happened? They recreated the entire virus. Type in water memory documentary. If you want to look up, there you go, right there. If you want to look up his name, it's Dr. like Dr. Luc, Luc. Hey, what's up, Snowbird? So it's Dr. Luc, Luc, space, Montagnier. I do my best when I have conversations to give people factual things. Like, people don't like the whole spiritual conversation of soul contracts and all this different stuff. When, I hate to break it for those of you that are skeptics, but they've been doing research about this since the 50s. And they've already made the correlation. When people have birthmarks, when people have the birthmarks in their necks, the child can tell you what village they got unalived. And that child can tell you the names of the villagers and the names of the village and the name of the woman that he was married to. It's one example amongst many. So be excited for the fact that we are going into a world where we are going to discover things about ourselves that we never knew were possible. There is a correlation. And the reason why you feel frustrated in your life, is because every step of the way, from an innocent place, from a good-hearted place, you just wanted to get along with people. You just wanted to make friends. Thank you, Rosie. You just wanted to get along with people. You just wanted to show people love and be loved. And now look at the world that we live in. People that are spiritual are batting with people that are spiritual. There's a catchphrase going around on TikTok about spirituality, about people in spiritual psychoses. There's people that are more religious that are attacking people that are spiritual. There's people that get so frustrated by certain phrases, and it's damaging. And it's this and it's that, and it's Eastern philosophy versus Western philosophy. When we're all a bunch of kids that are playing in a sandbox, just wanting to understand, just to make sense of it all. What do we do with this information? What do we do with this information? This is why, although I'm in a relationship with a woman who has 3 children, I don't have any biological DNA connected children yet. However, I've realized something about myself, and maybe this will resonate for you if you are a parent or if you have wanted to have children and you don't yet. The world needs mom energy, dad energy. I grew up with two moms, so I'm confident. It could be mom energy and mom energy. I'm perfectly cool with that, or dad energy and dad energy. Do whatever you want to do. Haven't been struck with lightning yet. Okay? The world needs critical thinkers. The world needs people who have been through a lot. This is why I want for you to change your perspective on what you've gone through. I want for you to let go of your age and the best years are behind you. Scotty knows the vibes. I want for you to let go of this concept of I'm supposed to already have it. It's supposed to already be there. I'm missing out, just in case you doubted that there was kids around. Let go of this earth concept that they give you of I'm missing out. The best years of my life are behind me. I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I'm missing out. I'm never going to get it. It's never going to happen for me. Let go of that. It's not true. Let go of control. Easier said than done. Word. User 1-800 knows the vibes. It doesn't matter where you've been. You can do something with that information to learn. It matters where you're going. So can you look at the people around you? Hey, there's Modern Monarch. Modern Monarch is a cool person too. You should be following because I love breath work and I love what he does and he gives readings too. And he's like me. We're different, baby. We are different. The people in your life that frustrate you and annoy you are teaching you the lesson because there's always been a part of you that has always had a calling. There is a part of you that has always felt different. There is a part of you that's always wanted to make this world a better place. Trust your process. Hey, what's up, man? If I'm an empath, does my son have a chance of being one too? Sure. But here's the understanding for those of you that are empaths. This is the thing for you to understand. It is so important, and I hope you're taking notes. It is so important that you identify a feeling or an emotion before you get into another room. Like there was somebody, a client of mine booked time with me and he was talking about this narcissistic relationship that he was in. And he's like, man, every single time that I get around this person I'm in this relationship with, I feel tired. And I'm like, you don't even, like when I go to their house, I feel tired. And I'm like, well, isn't that interesting? Isn't it fascinating that you were just in a good space and you got around somebody else and your mood completely and totally changed? Rainbow Obsidian. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. Instead of being frustrated that they're energy vampires or they're energy drainers or they're this or they're that or the other, you got the power. Remember that song from back in the day? Talk to Jen. She knows there's different types of empaths. My thing is that I want to share with you, regardless of how it connects, is when you can actually identify that you are in a good space or you are feeling anxiety and then you can do breath work, or you are feeling depressed and you can remember that going into this thing and just not shame yourself, or you're feeling angry and you can slow down and you can do something to make peace because we live in the information age and you have tools available to you. Thank you, Nusian. Thank you. I feel the love too. Thank you. Winners celebrate winners. Thank you. That when you go into this other room and the energy is off and it's off and it's off and it's off. And what does this make you when you've identified that the energy is off in this other room? What does it make you when you've identified that you were just in a good space and you walked into your family's room and you felt sadness or you felt anger or you felt fatigue or you felt anxiety or overwhelm? What does that make you? How does that define you? What does that make you in that moment? Because other people are not doing anything about it and they are not aware. You tell me. The leader. The leader of the pack. Makes you the leader. Makes you want to stay away. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. All jokes aside, TikTok tweaker. This is the thing. If you are in that space and it's family, my personal attention is I'm going to leave on neutral ground. When I started hanging out with millionaires and I realized they just went into the room, they found their people, they had pleasant conversations, they didn't ever judge people, they didn't tell people, hey, I'm a millionaire, treat me with some respect. They just came in there, they had great conversations and they left, and I was like, okay, I need to be on that same wavelength too. I'm over-explaining, I'm overselling, I'm insecure. So when I get around other people, I meet them where they're at. My beliefs are not the beliefs to believe. My way is not the way to be. What do I know? Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's telling you how to do it. Are you kidding me? We might all be the same person. For all I know, I have no idea. The more I learn, the less I know. I'm like, I surrender. In a powerful way. When you get around other people and the energy is off, you lovely empath, you can change the energy. Everybody's winging it. You can change the energy. I put a gold disco ball in the room or outside. I just spin it around. And I visualize gold energy putting off. And I just spinning off of this golden disco ball. And I spin it around the room. And I visualize it going through people, and I visualize it going for the highest good, and I visualize everybody having more self-love and feeling peace. And if there's any fear and negativity and chaos connected with me, then it goes to whoever had it, and it does not affect me, and so it is, and so forth, and I move forward. When I'm talking to somebody in live time, if their energy is off, I talk to their higher self, and I say to their higher self, while I'm listening to them and not taking their negative, toxic, angry words personally, the way that you're feeling has nothing to do with me. I can have a whole conversation while you're talking to me like this. Did you notice it? It's subtle. Did you see the change? Did you see the shift? That could be somebody screaming at me. That could be somebody going through a difficult time. I can change the energy and people wouldn't even notice it. But it's off and it's off and it's off and it's off. You can do the exact same thing. All you have to do is just believe that you can and practice your beliefs. And if you don't believe in that, cool. Believe in what you believe in, but believe it. You can change it. The breath, yeah, absolutely. It's in the breath, but I'm doing multiple things. I'm doing multiple things while I'm sitting there listening to somebody telling me something and I feel the energy's off. I'm filling myself up with love. I'm filling myself up with protection. I'm talking to that person's higher self to say, if you don't like who I am, if you do not see the highest good within me, and if you are going to project fear and chaos, then every single part of you is going to feel uncomfortable and want to leave immediately. And you know who I am, and you know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and you know that I am love. And I'm listening and I'm observing, and I'm shifting the energy. And when I'm breathing, when I'm exhaling, what I'm doing is I'm filling the room with more love, with more light, with more prosperity, with more peace, and with more trust. That's why people have been, you know what's funny? People have been DMing me recently and they're like, I've been burping like how you burp on the live streams. Is this like a normal thing that's going to happen? And I'm like, yeah, if the energy's off, we're just transmuting it. You yawn, you burp, You gag out energy. Have any of you been doing this in your life, either recently or ever in your life, or like you just get around people, you start yawning or you're burping, or like you get around somebody and all of a sudden you're just like gagging out energy, gagging out air, and you're like, there's nothing coming out. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Burping a lot. Word. You have to spit sometimes. Me too. Thank you, Snowbird. So, again, I'm going to hop off in just a minute, but I really want to encourage you. If you like this conversation, if you want to talk, what I talk about is emotional intelligence. And it's not that you wake up tomorrow and everything is miraculous and everything is changed. What comes out when you burp, when you yawn and stuff like that, it's unwanted energy. It just doesn't connect with who you are and where you're going. It happens, Sam, it happens when the energy just doesn't connect. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out here who has a different perspective, who has more insight. For me, it's just the energy just doesn't align. A lot of times when I'm burping, it's because I said something that was just that connected with somebody's soul and really connected with where they're going. They're like, oh my God, I love this. And I'm ready to release this old belief. And I like this new truth. So, what city am I in? I'm in authenticity. In Nevada. So emotional intelligence is being able to be in the surroundings, in the circumstances that you have. Like some of you feel stuck, some of you feel alone, some of you feel unwanted, some of you have family members or relationships that you're in, some of you are getting divorces, some of you right now are thinking about ending your relationship, some of you have gotten into big fights or disagreements recently, some of you are just like tired of having abandonment issues or issues around money. So a lot of gurgling going on. Yeah, that's a lot of times that's just shifting. There's a lot of shifting going on. Okay. So, or you can just be scientific and say that's a bunch of airy-fairy nonsense. But scientists also said the trees have heartbeats. So shave your sideburns, hippies. So emotional intelligence. I don't know how much you want to hang out with the Scorpio, but we're a good time. Oh, man. And I can agree to disagree. The question is, can you? Okay? So, emotional intelligence is looking at the circumstances that you have and saying, instead of autopilot sadness, autopilot grief, autopilot tired, autopilot victim, autopilot nobody hears me, disassociating, disconnecting, frustration, it's being able to listen to the self-talk to navigate to a different space. Thank you, TikTok tweaker. Thank you. You can use growing your sideburns bigger and longer. I love it. Thank you. So it's being able to, in moments where you normally go to a certain space and you feel that you are a victim, and being able to say, I don't want to be this way anymore. What other options do I have? The way that I learned this was because I traveled and I left New York to be over in in the West Coast to be in the relationship, in the last relationship that I was in. And I went on this spiritual awakening and I connected with shamans and I did ceremonies and I did all these different things holistically, spiritually, therapy, yoga, stretching, supplements, all this different stuff, learning how to crack my code. And when I was in Hollywood, when I was hanging out with A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, whatever list, celebrities, artists, entrepreneurs, powerful people, CEOs, VPs, millionaires, billionaires, interesting people I wouldn't normally connect with, I started realizing how some people had really amazing energy and some people were really cool. And other people had energy that I didn't understand, and it felt really sneaky, and it felt shady, and it felt like they were presenting themselves one way, but there was something else going on. And then I started realizing how people would have conversations and other people didn't like those conversations, and how people would deflect and change those conversations. And while all of that was happening, I was in a mentally, verbally, and physically abusive relationship. Having about 3 to 5 arguments or physical fights where I was taught, I was raised by women. So like I don't do that, but that was done to me, right? And so I would just sit there and take it 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 and take it. That's why I'm so adamant about you speaking up, because the day that I spoke up, it was like a confused dog was like roar to this other person. When I stopped and I said, people who love me don't speak to me this way. And she stopped and she was like, oh my God, my mom used to speak to me this way. I'm so sorry. And I was like, huh? When I started saying things like, I know what I'm doing, even if it doesn't feel that way to you. And they're like, okay. TikTok punk rocker, what I would say, what I want for you to consider, if there's anything that you've gotten from this live stream, like a takeaway that you can take from this live stream, your frustration that everybody else is like that is because everybody who's like that other way that you're not like, everybody is teaching you for you because they're cure. As soon as you're not showing them the attention that they feel, they just, you're pookie. Oh, look at you, spiritual. I'm a spiritual person, spiritual awakening. Ooh, ascension symptoms. Ooh, I'm spiritual. Oh, look at me. I'm loving myself more. Oh. I'm telling you. Bex, I got a response the next time that person puts you down. Lean into it. I love you, Bex. I appreciate you. The next time somebody calls you a weirdo, say, yes, you're absolutely right. I am weird. I'm incredibly weird. Every single day I wake up and I'm just the weirdest person on planet Earth. What are we going to do with this information now that we've acknowledged how weird I am? How strange I am? And then just sit there. You could take it to the Scorpio level. Yes, I'm the weirdest person on planet Earth. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I should love myself. And I should forgive people around me who make fun of my spirituality. And I should just be weirder and weirder every single day to treat other people how I want to be treated. Ah, what a wonderful way to be. How incredibly weird I am. Another Scorpio approach could be if somebody in a relationship calls you weird. I mean, it depends. Because I want to be mindful there's relationships that are different. But if it's more of like a friendship or like a boss or a coworker or somebody who's like miserable and they're putting you down and saying that you're weird, or if it's in like a non-violent, non-threatening, I know they're not going to attack me kind of way, there's different levels to this. There's different boundaries. That when that person says, oh my God, you're so weird, you're so stupid, to be like, why are you talking to yourself that way? Why are you talking to yourself that way? Why are you saying that about yourself? Why do you think that there's something wrong with you? Why? That's so harsh. Why are you speaking to yourself that way? No, I know you're not talking to me. You're only talking to yourself. You were taught that by somebody else in your past. That has nothing to do with me. Why do you think that you're stupid? I don't think you're stupid. You shouldn't talk to yourself that way. People might get the impression that you're talking about them, but between me and you, I know that you're really talking to yourself. You can edit, you can revise that, but I'm just saying, I refuse to take on other people's belief systems. All that I take is responsibility. I feel like I might have to say this every single live stream that I go into to let you know. Because I can't show you who I was. All that you have to go off of is internet searches and looking at my social media and what I tell you, right? I wasn't like this before. This was a process. People who've been watching me on these live streams, have you noticed how much I've changed? Because I've acknowledged how much I've changed. Have you noticed how much I physically have changed? How my energy has changed? How my perspective has changed? How my glow has gotten brighter? How I've been leveling up? How I've been more peaceful? Like people have been saying you don't have like a chip on your shoulder. When I came into this, I was angry. I'd gotten out of a long-term abusive relationship. And I can acknowledge that for myself without feeling that I'm better than other people or cocky or conceited. It takes courage to acknowledge yourself. I am always a student before I'm a teacher. And the best kind of teacher, in my opinion, is somebody who's just gone through something. That's why I share this information with you. Because I don't think that it's fair that you have actual information on planet Earth that can make you personally a better person and people charge thousands of dollars for it. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I received the love. I received the love. Takes one to know one. Takes one to know one. Takes one to know one. Okay? So, the more that you love yourself, the more you realize that you have to love yourself more. There's a time and a space where you'll feel balanced. But I'm noticing it too. I'm needing to take time to not respond to certain people on TikTok. It's important for me to slow down now. Because there's people that genuinely, legitimately do not want for this to keep on happening. There are genuinely, legitimately, and this is not to get pity parties and all that different. I'm factually telling you what I've experienced. There are people on this application and people on planet Earth that walk by me and just like, huh. Now I know why. I don't need to explain why, but I know why. But on a human level, all spirituality aside, that's challenging as a human being. It's challenging. All that matters is how you see yourself, my love. All that matters is how you see yourself. All that matters is how I see myself. All the different stuff that I've done, all the different ceremonies, all the different teachers, all the different philosophies and concepts I've learned, it all boils down to how you feel about yourself, what you believe about yourself to be true. The more that you believe it, the more that you go into it, the more that you naturally find your own way, the right people are going to connect with you. The right people are going to find you. The right people are going to nurture you. The right people are going to hold space for you. You and I are not meant to connect with every single person and help every single person on planet Earth. Or maybe we are, but not right now. And thank you. And what I would say, Christiana, because people say that this is confidence. What I would say, because I received that as a compliment, right? What I'm saying more so is consider that I'm emotionally aware. For people who lack confidence, you don't need to be confident. It's not about being confident, because people can misinterpret confidence. People can look at somebody, like we look at celebrities and stuff like that, and we say, why did they get that? Why do they have access to that? Ugh, look at them. Ugh, I hate that stuff. Ew, I don't like celebrities. All that different stuff, right? Like, why did that? Look at how they carry themselves. I can never be that way. If I had plastic surgery, if my body was like that, if my hair looked like that, if my teeth looked like that, if I had that boyfriend, that girlfriend, those people, if my bank account, if my money was like that, then I'd be the exact same way. But you have no idea how people are behind the scenes. No idea. No idea, no clue. I lived in Hollywood. I'm telling you right now, man, a lot of these people are con artists, medicated with huge marketing teams and PR teams. The Rock has like 5 or 6 people that like minimally that he runs content through before he even gets in front of you and raises his eyebrow. If you had the same opportunities and the same people around you and people writing scripts for you, like when somebody makes a mistake, like Kim Kardashian isn't apologizing, her PR team is telling her exactly what to say, and that's not to put her down. But it's also understanding that all of us are human. And so the whole concept of what it means to be successful in today's world is going to change before your very eyes. This is why I'm so adamant about the fact that this is unconditional love, and this is community, and this is family, and this is supply and demand. The more attention you give to what you are interested in, the more the algorithm feeds it, the more that you support it, it goes to other people's pages and other people get introduced to these concepts. You're changing the world in your pajamas without even knowing it. And you play this small. The people who feel unwanted, unloved, unappreciated, a burden, the people that are doing everything they can to escape those parts that they don't like, we outnumber the people who mask it and who are numb to it and pretend that everything's perfect. The people who call us names are calling themselves 10 names too. So we don't acknowledge their existence, except for this. That's all that they get. The people who are hurting inside will try to hurt us, because they feel that they're an imposter. They have imposter syndrome. They feel they don't deserve success. And so they project that onto us. When we are emotionally intelligent, when we are emotionally aware, we have compassion for other people. We are not better than anybody. Daddy's home. And daddy respects mom, and daddy respects divine feminine. And human beings are angry, and human beings are hurting. And human beings have been trapping this trauma inside. And it's been boiling up and boiling up and boiling up. And we've been smiling and smiling and smiling and smiling and smiling and smiling. And we're still not good enough, and we're still not worthy. And it still keeps on getting crazier and crazier and crazier. What do we do with this information? What is the call to action? I love you too. Thank you. When you look at yourself and you know who you are, you remind other people like me who might be a step behind you to remember who they are, to let go of their shame, of their physical appearance and the way that they communicate, and their accent and their bank account and their age and their current relationship status. You give people the hope to know that they are good enough, that they count, that they matter, that there are other people out there like them. When you own who you are, we remember who we are. When you love yourself, the rest of the world picks up on this. And this is the hustle they tell us to never do, because you're selfish and you're greedy if you don't put other people before you. The call to action is for you to love yourself in a way that you never have before, and to do research and to educate yourself and to use TikTok's algorithm and to use YouTube and Instagram and Facebook groups and the internet and the information age, to be relentless on your pursuit of happiness, and to pursue the parts where you're unhappy, to pursue the parts where you're uncomfortable, to actually put the parts of yourself that you don't like about yourself into the front, so the more that you can look at this part of yourself, you can be honest with yourself for the first time in your life. You're not trying to love yourself, you're loving yourself. And when you say it's so much work, but I'm not giving up, you're subconsciously giving more power to it's so much work. Change that but to an and. It's a lot of effort. But here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing. Are you ready for this? On your self-love journey, on your spiritual awakening, however you want to phrase it. If you're not a spiritual person, you're still welcomed. It's all good. I have friends and family who are atheists. I have friends from all different walks of life spiritually. I'm spiritually confident. Can you imagine? Can you imagine telling people how to be spiritual? It's so ridiculous. Good thing reincarnation is real. Whoops. Let me see this. Hold on a second. I lost where I was going because I got, which is fine, and I can own that. I can be in this moment and breathe. What I'm telling you is, when you are more yourself, when you find your way to do things, when you find your groove and your rhythm, and when you own it, and when you project that energy of I am good enough and I am worthy and I'm getting better at this, and man, this feels awkward, but I'm going to keep on going. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you're doing this work and this commitment and this dedication and this celebration of your life and your declaration of your independence for who you are, regardless of your affiliation with anything, when you do this for yourself, to say, this is who I am, and I love my feelings, and I love my sadness, and I love my awkwardness, and I love my cringe, and I love the 2 teeth that you have in your however many teeth you have, and I love what shade they are. Do you know that in medieval times, that if you had pure white teeth, you were poor and you were disgusting? Do you know how inconsistent and how fickle and how crazy and how nutty human beings are? Do you know that plus size women were it? And if you were skinny, we'd give you a stick of butter and be like, get your skinny butt back in there. Fatten it up. We want you plus sized. The wider your teeth were, the more disgusting, the more poor you were. People would literally hide their smiles because the elite people, the 1%ers, were embarrassed to have white teeth. This is what I want for you to get. This is what I want for you to get. The fact that you are dedicated and you are declaring who you are in the way that you are, nobody, as long as you stand your ground and you are not desperate, and when people show their true colors, you say, thank God I got the truth, and move forward, and you let go of society saying how you should be, and let go of what a mom and a dad and marriage and all these other concepts that keep you limited and boxed in, and follow your intuition and know that God's like, yes, amazing, because I didn't write any of these words. That when you actually take this time for yourself, nobody can take it away from you. That's why I say the energy you exhaust is a lot. The energy that I protect is infinite. The energy that I give is infinite. I get paid to do what I love, and I love what I do, and so I'm able to have infinite energy, because when you find your purpose after being abused for 10 years and being around people who are jealous and narcissistic and toxic and taking you in 15,000 different directions, when you just find a way to say, this makes me feel happy and I'm just going to find a way to make money doing it, and I'm just going to be open and vulnerable and post a random video on TikTok one day because I was lonely and felt alone, instead of looking for how many hearts and how many likes and how many follows and expectations and all this different stuff, I started doing things like a child because it feels good. Go of what your mom, your dad, your family, oh my God, are you gonna fail again? You were an addict before, honey. Oh my God, you were such a failure before, honey. You're gonna fail. Be afraid. That's good news that you got, dear, but I'm really concerned. You should really be afraid. Right? Let people have their opinions. For all of you who have family members that are judgmental, do you know that you are supposed to be better than your mom and your dad? Do you know this? Nucian, what I would say, what helps me post more content is, as soon as your brain says, I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive enough, go back to your brain and say, the people who I'm spending time with don't care about my physical appearance, and post it anyway. Because between me and you and 150 other people, the video that got me 1,000 followers, I had a bad haircut, it was bad lighting, and I was in gray sweatpants and a cut-off t-shirt looking like a super introvert. When you dedicate your time to yourself and you own who you are and you own your emotions and you own your perspective, nobody can take this away from you. Thank you, Gen X. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's a different way to do this. There is a different way to do this. Everything that I'm talking about is perspective. Everything is perspective. Word. The older generations just don't get it, and that's cool. Thank you, Scotty. I love that. Thank you. Other people around you, they just don't get where you're going. Do you know that you're meant to be more successful than your parents? Factually. So the next time one of your parents tells you, be afraid. Be afraid. They're going to judge you. Or what you're doing is stupid. Or you're wrong. Or you're whatever category. For those of you who have parents, if you're more of a spiritual person and they're very, very religious and they don't agree with their philosophies, but you know that you're a good person. You're not gaslighting anybody. You're not attacking anybody. You're not hurting anybody. You're not manipulating anybody. Because you are meant to be better than your parents, you are going to think in a way that your parents don't think, because you're meant to be better than the parents. Because you're meant to be better than your parents, you are going to think in a way that they do not think. Hello? Get out of there. Get out of there. Hello in there. Get out of there. That's it. I had that conversation with my mom. My mom kept on fear, and I snapped, and I was like, okay. I do voiceovers, actually, professionally. That my mom was like saying, she said, you think you're better than other people. And I stopped her because I had heard this conversation with her before, and I was tired of it. I was like, yo, you literally created me. You birthed me, and you watched my entire process. From the abusive relationship, everything. I even told you that I was being taken advantage of as a child. So, you know, all of that. And I said, do you know actually that I'm supposed to be better than you? Do you know that? I'm actually meant to be more successful than you. Do you know that? Will you acknowledge that? Is that a fair statement? Doesn't it make sense? And she said, yes. And I said, well, therefore, wouldn't it be fair to say that because I am meant to be better than you, that I think in a way that you don't, that I have thoughts that do not occur within you? Yes. I don't need for you to understand me. I don't need for you to say every single step that you're making is the right one. I don't need that. Hey, what's up, Trisha? I just want support. I just want to be around somebody who thinks that I'm good enough, because I love my process. I love who I am. Thank you, my love. Mm-hmm. Still a little hot.
Yeah,
Thank you. So. And if you say you're not good enough to anyone, then it's already factually with you. If you say nobody understands me, guess what? You don't understand yourself. When you understand yourself, you don't need to feel understood, because you understand yourself. And there's an energy that is carried when you say, I understand myself. Even if I don't understand all of me, I can still honor the unknown parts. I love all the conversations going on in here. Thank you. You can't send messages? Let me see. Hey Miles, if you want to connect with me, and for everybody here who's interested in this conversation, because I'm gonna hop off in just a minute. When you go to this part right here and you tap that star up there and you join the VTP family, VTP stands for Victorious People. It's around $6. From there, go to my profile link. Go to my profile link and tap book time with me. You're gonna see a link that says VTP 15-minute phone call. You're gonna tap that and fill out that information, and we're gonna connect, and that's free after you've paid the $6. And then afterwards, after that, an hour conversation, which is normally $60, is now $30. And all of that is automated. There's a calendar there. All good. Thank you. Otherwise, just hang out here. Hey, thank you, Books and Beatles. Do you like Beatles the Bugs, or like Beatles like, oh, hello, my name's Paul and I play the guitar? My brother used to listen to the Beatles tape live at, it was like a live tape or whatever. And he'd be like, hello, my name's John and I play the guitar. And he's like, my name's Paul and I play the guitar. And he's like, I'm Ringo and I play the drums. And I'd be like, hey, and I'm Fred and I play the garbage can. My brother hated it. It sounds like you're giving fairy tales, but it ain't that easy. Here's the difference. Every single thing that I'm saying, if you're consistent, if you do this on the days you don't want to, you'll get to where you need to go. I'm not telling you that you're going to book time with me. I'm going to have an hour conversation with you, and tomorrow you grow facial hair and become a white guy saying, I made $15,000 last month. Join my free webinar. No. I was in the projects where you can't make eye contact with people. And I was working as a bathroom attendant, leaving Coney Island at 9 o'clock and working until 4 o'clock in the morning and going back into the hood around people who are doing God knows what at 5 o'clock in the morning, and with neighbors that were chain smoking. I couldn't even breathe in the place where I was living, and there was cockroaches in my cupboard. Tell me that this isn't easy. Tell me more. I was in an abusive relationship for almost a decade where I didn't want to be alive. Same team. I love you. I'm just talking with you. I love who I am. I love what I've been through. I hadn't even processed all of the trauma, all the frustration from the fact that I was taken advantage of as a child. Certain things were done to me you shouldn't do to a child for almost a decade. I was bullied and teased in high school because my mom was lesbian, because they found out that my dead father died of AIDS, and they mocked me because of that. I grew up in poverty. And even on my worst day, I had it better than others. I'm aware. I'm very self-aware. This is consistency, my friend. This is you saying, I'm going to stay consistent and show up for myself and honor my momentum. My need for peace is more important than entertainment for others. Are you with me? Are you with me? My need for love is more important than your need for temporary entertainment. Are you with me? My need to know at least one other person feels the way that I feel is more important than showing you that I have a song, or I'm an entertainer, or I'm an artist, and you should just like my creation because I'm insecure and I need validation. Are you with me? My need to know that there is one person in this live stream right now who's on their bed who's like, man, there's moments where I just think, you know what? I'm just not going to be alive anymore. My need to connect with them to tell them to keep on going, because they're going to be that person in society that is the supply and the demand. And there's millions of other people who feel this way. And we're going to lift these people up to let them know there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your age. There's nothing wrong with your bank account. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you look in the mirror and you hate what you see. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you feel you're an imposter. There's nothing wrong with your process. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the pain in your body. There's nothing wrong with the process that you're going through. There's nothing wrong with questioning your existence. There's nothing wrong with it. The fact that society shames you is wrong. It's wrong. I know these influencers. I know these people. Jasper hates them. They're frauds. That's the dog in there. We're not going to do this abusive relationship on planet Earth anymore. I put my life on the line. I go to the forefront. And we can do all of this non-violently. And everybody can believe in every religion they want to. He's tired of it. Okay? For the conversation about autism, that's not really my field and my specialty. I just want to say, if you've ever had a negative connotation towards you being told that you are autistic, I just want to let you know that Albert Einstein would have been labeled autistic. There's nothing wrong with you. My mom actually teaches severely handicapped elementary school children, and you're ahead of the game. Society just hustles people like us who are different. Love yourself, know yourself, love yourself, know yourself. Keep loving, keep living, keep loving, keep living. You know the best advice you can give an artist is to just keep on making art? I did not write an end note, but I was standing waiting for the train going God knows where, and I was looking at the train coming when I was living in Hollywood, looking really good on paper. And I remember I looked around and I saw how many people were around, and I was like, 3 more steps and this all goes away. 3 more steps and all of this pain and this frustration and this trap goes away. And I'm not stuck anymore. I can't do it anymore. It's too much. And there was a quiet voice that said, remember, keep going. Just keep going. It's going to get better. And that's faith. And that's faith. Your faith for you, your faith. Not what religion tells you, not what mom and dad tells you, your faith, your faith, your faith, your faith. Your declaration, your dedication, your commitment, your honor, your words, your choices, your actions, what you allow, what you choose. Hey, Life, what I would say, if you want to have a conversation with me on Instagram or DM me or something like that, we can talk about it. But man, I'm telling you, I'm not making life sound easy. I'm telling you, your perspective, there are limiting beliefs, there are blocks. There are beliefs like I'm not good enough, nobody wants me, nobody understands me, things are hard for me, things never work out for me. Does any of this sound familiar? Does any of this sound familiar within your inner dialogue? Nobody understands me, which is one right now that you're saying right now that I don't understand you. Do you know that the human perspective is nobody understands me, nobody knows what I've gone through, nobody knows my sorrow, nobody knows my struggle? I don't think that your life is easy. I think that you've been living the exact same way for years. I think that the people around you remind you of your childhood. I think that when you get frustrated, bro, I think it reminds you of how whoever raised you spoke to you. I think if you actually take a look at the people around you, they'll remind you of past patterns. And that old belief of I have to be strong, that's what blocks us. We go to bed with the armor on. We wake up with the armor on. We look for love with the armor on. Saying nobody understands me, nobody understands me, nobody understands me. False evidence appearing real. You learned how to walk, you learned how to talk. You can change your beliefs. It's going to take time. Can you show up for yourself on the days you don't want to? I was walking this path for 10 years, my man. Do you know how many arguments? Do you know I got into 10 years? What is 10 times 365? 3,650. Just about, more or less. Imagine getting into at least 5 arguments, 3 arguments like per week. My conversation, I will point out, is we can't go more than 2 weeks without an argument. Do you know the level that I was abandoned and I wanted love and I was desperate? Nobody knows our story until we tell it. Nobody knows our struggle until we tell ourselves we're not struggling. Nobody knows our life until we tell it. Nobody knows. But I don't want to tell my story. I'm going to hurt people's feelings and people aren't going to like me, or everybody's going to relate. Welcome to the party. You're the perfect example of a leader that's needed because you know those depths of that frustration. Love was beatings. So then when you get around somebody who's unconditional love, the brain says that's not familiar. They're not beating me, so that's not love. I don't deserve that. That's cringy. That's stupid. I don't like that. That's not familiar to me. Why do you think some people connect with me when my voice is like this? Because mom and dad used to talk to them like this, and they're used to this, and they interpret this as love. And why do you think that some people like it when I talk like this? And why does this feel uncomfortable for people? And why does this feel inauthentic and cheesy and stupid and cringy? Why does this make some people's skin crawl? But can you actually hear what I'm saying beyond my tone of voice and actually listen to what I'm saying and know that I'm coming from a place of love, regardless of how I say it? He's frustrated. I gotta let the dog out. So if they ever ask who let the dogs out, you say Nikki Scorpio. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Anyway. What is the difference between an argument and a different opinion? The response. The reaction. So, for example, perfect example, A. Miles said, like in some way, shape, or form, like, hey, you don't know, you don't understand, right? So I could get defensive and I could say, come on, I'm good at what I do. Love me, come on. Like, right? I could go to that place. I could easily say like, oh, come on. What's wrong with you? Why are you not seeing what I'm telling you? Listen to me. Are intelligent, love me, right? But that wasn't the conversation that I gave off. When somebody's saying like, yo, like you're making it seem like it's easy, it's not easy. I'm like, okay, I get that. I understand that. What I'm saying, however, though, is I'm saying this is consistency. I acknowledge this isn't easy. It's powerful. What do we give more attention to? The ease of it or the power that it gives us? Right? When I'm having a conversation with somebody, I listen to them, I acknowledge them. Step number 1, while we are listening, instead of needing to respond right away, is to actually listen and to hear this person's words. This is a real person right now on TikTok that is writing a real message to say, yo, like I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't connect. I'm not getting it. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. This is why I live stream as much as I can, and I keep on saying the same thing 5,000 different ways. So you're like, I got it. I acknowledge because I didn't believe in God and I didn't believe in spirituality and I didn't like my life and I didn't want to be alive and I was trapped in abusive relationships and I felt angry at the world and I hated my life and I hated my circumstances and I felt nobody understood me. And then a voice told me, you're not meant to be understood by everybody because you understand everybody, because you grew up in poverty, because your family was raised by women, because your father was gay and he died of AIDS. That's something you can't even help. You grew up into the world in the gay agenda in the LGBTQ plus community as a straight white male with blonde hair and blue eyes, knowing my culture, knowing my heritage, knowing my roots, being around poverty, being around people who don't have my skin color, seeing how the police treat them, seeing how the people of color treat my European looking mother who is raising the children around doing low income daycare, being attacked because she was a white woman trying to figure out an issue and got attacked by people. And the next day she was taking care of the neighborhood kids around them. And she looked at 5-year-old Nikki while she had blood dripping down her face saying, this is a bigger problem that needs to be resolved, because I experienced the abusive relationship, because I experienced not wanting to be alive, and I experienced the poverty. I don't need to be understood by everybody, because as a leader, I understand other people. And in that same way, for those of you who are unwanted and unloved and addicted and chaos and poverty and unattractive and overweight and underweight and black and white and left and right and up and down and all that different stuff, you find your people, you tell your story. The world relates to you because of your emotional connection with who you are, because real recognizes real, and the rest of the people don't make sense because they're not our people. Done. That's it. You find your people. You find your people. Too much energy, that's your belief. I'm infinite. The more energy I give, the more energy I receive. The more I give, the more I receive, my love. I'm infinite. So when we're listening to other people who are saying you are stupid, who's been taking notes, when somebody says you are stupid, you are dumb, I don't like what you did, that's wrong. What's the very first thing that we do? When somebody tells us a belief that they have about us, what's the first thing that we do? Yeah, I will never DM anybody for readings and stuff like that. If you want to book time with me, connect with me, but I don't do readings and do energy healings for people. That's not what I do. The first thing we do is listen. Exactly. Gets offensive. Wrong. We listen. We acknowledge. We acknowledge. We acknowledge. You're the weirdest person in the world? Challenge accepted. Ha ha. No, we acknowledge them. We acknowledge them. We acknowledge them. I hear you. I get what you're saying. You think that I'm stupid. You think what I did was stupid. I get that. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. There's 1,000 different responses afterward. Oh, you don't want to treat other people how you want to be treated? Oh, it's different because it hurts your feelings? Or is that the golden rule? Do you want the golden rule, or do you want the golden rule on Tuesdays and Fridays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the moon is full under the pale moonlight? Like, what do you want? Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? I can be both. Yeah, it sounds like it. I'd rather be happy than be right, because there's a lot of people in the world that are right that are miserable. Thank you. I like you too. And after we've acknowledged what somebody says, if you made a mistake, own up to it. Don't be insecure. Okay, you don't like the way that I did it? If they're yelling at you, guess what? Why, and what's the understanding that we have when they yell at us? Why are they yelling at us? Why are they yelling at us? Why are they putting us down? Why are they calling us stupid? Because they're not being heard, reflection of themselves. It's their interpretation of their life. They're projecting. You're holding up a mirror. You are reflecting. And then from there, save you some. So after, hey Miles, I love you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. So from here, after we're listening to somebody, like when you start to learn how to be non-emotional and non-reactive, and you ever heard somebody say be in the present moment? And it sounds cheesy and you're like, what does that mean? That doesn't even mean anything. It means listen right now without any kind of interpretation, without any kind of definition. Listen and be curious and just listen. Start there. Just listen. Listen to your brain. Listen to how you interpret. Listen to how your brain goes to. Listen to the other person's tone of voice. Listen to what they say. Listen to how they say it. Listen to what you say. Listen to how you say it. Yo, you gotta slow down a little bit, man. You're jumping. Thank you, Scotty. I love you. Listening without questions isn't how we learn. I think if you actually took more time to just observe, you would start to see what emotions you're feeling and how your brain is interpreting things, right? Because in the same way, I have no clue where you are going with your communication until you get there. You have no clue where I'm going until I get there. When you actually just start to listen to people, you realize how frustrated you get sometimes. You realize how annoyed you get sometimes. How do you stop your heart and breathing from speeding up when you learn to listen like that? Because if you were in a movie theater watching a really loud movie, you wouldn't take it personally. If you were watching a documentary, you wouldn't take it personally. When I'm telling you about my childhood, when I'm telling you what I've been through, you're listening. But it doesn't emotionally connect with you, physically connect with you in the way that it did for me. So in that same way, you can listen to people and hear them. And then from there, we can learn how to set boundaries. And I have an ebook on the power of setting boundaries that's in there. And we can keep on going within this way. And we can find different ways to communicate. I'm going to hop off in just a minute here, but I'm just going to say this one more time. If you like this conversation, if you've liked what I've been talking about so far, what I talk about when you book time with me, one-on-one, two-on-one, whatever, is emotional intelligence. So a simple way that we can start to get to know each other on a deeper level, tap that star up there. You become part of the VTP family. That stands for victorious people. You have had victory in your life, therefore you are victorious. You can have victory again. Acknowledge it. Plant that seed of optimism, of hope. In the same way you learn how to walk and talk, learn how to change your perspective. Be patient with yourself. It's not one and done. It's not tomorrow you wake up and everything clicks. It requires patience. It's perspective on this journey. When I talk about emotional intelligence, let's put it this way. I want for you to be able to go through your anxieties, your depressions, your anger, your process, your relationships, your ups and downs in your life, and let go of the heaviness of nobody understands me. And look at your journey as honorable through the eyes of ancient wisdom. Look at your journey as honorable and courageous on your pursuit of happiness. So after you tap that star and you subscribe, it's around $6. You go to my profile, you're gonna tap the link that's gonna say book time with me. There's gonna be a 15-minute link. You're gonna put your TikTok username so I can verify that. And then from there, after you fill out a couple questions, you and I are gonna talk. It's on Zoom. If you don't want to be seen on the video, I respect that. It would be more powerful. And remember, I can only go off of what you share with me. So if you have something that's really, really difficult and really nasty and really frustrating and you feel like a big time fraud and a big phony, if anybody ever found out, no judgment, safe space. I've worked with all different walks of life. Emotional intelligence is simply having a different understanding. Because remember, if there are two cars going in a different direction, those people have different perspectives about the people that they're passing in those cars. Neither perspective is right or wrong. It's just a different perspective. Here's another way of looking at it. If you were in a car and there was cars behind you and the light just turned green and you wanted to turn right and somebody was crossing the street, you would wait for them. And after they passed, you would turn. The second car that's behind you would be a little bit impatient and then they would look out the side and they would see, oh, there's a grandma crossing the street. The third car is not going to see that that woman is crossing the street, so the third car is going to honk its horn. The reason why I give this analogy is because you're impatient and you're frustrated and you get aggravated and you don't like things because you simply can't see because the perspective is a little bit off sometimes, or because somebody isn't communicating with you sometimes, or if you had the right information, or if you had an understanding about your mental health or your perspective or what makes you tick and what makes you what and why we have the reactions that we have, you wouldn't have this heaviness and this burden and this frustration. You wouldn't react to other people who told you that you were stupid. In fact, a lot of the arguments in other relationships that you've had wouldn't even occur. That's how powerful your brain is. You have logic, I have logic, we all have logic. Everybody has a perspective. There are multiple truths. Okay. Tammy, the link is when you tap my username. You tap my username, and then from there's the link in my bio. And then when you tap the link in my bio, it's going to say book time with me. It's right there after you tap book time with me. It says VTP 15-minute link. You got this. Slow down. You got this. You're brilliant. You got this. Take a deep breath. Here's another thing that you can do before I hop off, and we're going to take a deep breath in a minute, so just stick around. A simple tool that you can use when you have had to be in control your whole entire life. There's two things you can do. One thing that I do, and thank you for this comment. I like this. I want to pin this one. This is a good perspective. This is the exact same thing, just said in a different way. Thank you. Thank you, her little glorious pieces. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Bamboo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take notes. Level up. Thank you. I love you. So, two things that I do when I feel like I need to be in control as a human, because human beings need to be in control. Number one is I visualize the end goal. So let's say that you have to catch a flight. Visualize yourself arriving safely and connect with the emotion of, or you're going to your family's house and your family isn't on the same page as you. Visualize yourself leaving and you feel good because you didn't give away your power. Trust the middle ground. It's the middle ground where we fumble and we try to control things and we don't like how we feel. Visualize the end goal. And number two is when I don't like how I feel and I feel like I need to be in control, I tell myself I choose to be here. I choose this. I choose this. I choose this. I choose to be here. I choose it. Okay? So, other than that, join the VTP family. Tap that link in the bio. $6. Get a 15-minute call with me. Afterwards, it's going to be $30 for an hour instead of $60. I also have package deals. I also have t-shirts. I have hoodies that have mantras, that have mottos that I've used to get myself out of the abusive relationship, that help me be consistent in my life. Other than that, tap the links to see what happens. But what we're going to do before we take off, and you're not trying, Tam, you're doing it. Acknowledge that. There's no trying. You're doing it. Thank you, A. Miles. I appreciate you. Thank you for being honest and for being open. Thank you. I like being called out. Ring, ring, baby, I'm here. Or like the Generation A does, Gen Z does, they don't do that anymore. They do this. Like we're living in Star Trek or something like that. Hello? 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 Okay, hold on a second. So, we're going to take a deep breath together as a family. Family shows up. You say you don't have family, family shows up. So, we're going to take a deep breath together. And I'm setting an intention when I'm taking this deep breath. You can set an intention for you. I'm setting an intention that we all know peace. Inner peace. The truest peace that we've ever known. And when we have this peace, we have peace because we have health. We have peace because we have financial freedom. Bills are paid, debts are paid off, money coming in, able to eat healthy food. Ooh, it's a good one. Peace because we have peace with our families, peace with the people around us. We have good people around us and we deserve that. Peace because we know we're protected no matter where we go. Peace because we know no matter what happens, comes or goes, that life is taking us to the place that we're meant to be. Hey, Miles, if you want to connect with me, you could when you tap the link in my bio, there's the Instagram thing there. I also have on my profile my business email for those of you that want to connect with me that way too. So I'm going to take this deep breath, and that's going to symbolize all of that. You're going to see me breathe in and what I'm doing, and I encourage you to join me on this journey. Set your intention. Breathe from the bottom of your feet like a child. But I can't do that. Just be a child. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Set your intention. Breathe from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Feel yourself. I got you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Breathe from the bottom of your feet to the tops of your head. Fill yourself up with the color that represents energy. For me, it's purple. Purple is a color of royalty, and I like it. It's a good color. See if you can actually emotionally connect with what your intention is. See if you can emotionally connect. Because if I told you that you had more health than you've ever had, more prosperity than you've ever had, and more love than you've ever had, it wouldn't be like, cool, thanks, Nikki Scorpio, I love you. Be like, woohoo! Eureka, we made it. Ezekiel, we're selling this dump and we're getting out of here. And the neighbors are like, be quiet. And you're like, no, Francine, you be quiet. We made it big time. We're out of here. Okay? Come on, I got jokes, don't? Cool? Connect with you. Do you know that empaths can feel other people laughing? I don't think we talk about this enough. Do you get where I'm coming from, man? Come on, connect with the emotion. Connect with it. Connect with it. And also what I want to say, this is really important. If you're not there, it's okay. If you feel like crying right now, that's fine. I might just be speaking to one person on here when I say this. I really, 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 especially if you've been ever told that you were stupid, I want for you, if you're open to it, to stop shaming yourself when you cry. I want for you to give yourself full permission to release the emotions because we love tears. There's healing properties. And people look at you and they're like, oh my God, you look so clear. Your energy is so much better. I had a big one yesterday. Huge emotional release. PTSD from my last relationship. And my current healthy relationship was like, oh my God, did she really do that damage to you? And she tuned in as the medium that she is. And so it's like, wow, a lot. Down when you cry anymore. And if anybody ever puts you down and says that you are stupid for feeling angry, or wrong for feeling angry, or stupid for feeling sad, or weak for crying, I want you with that shaky voice while you are crying those big tears. I want for you to connect with that anger, and I want for you to own your emotions. I love my tears. I love when I release my trauma. I love when it's messy. My anger is healthy. I am expressing to you how I truly feel. I am hurting inside. I want to be around people who hold space for me where I can express my anger. This is not towards you. I am angry inside. This is my trauma being released. I am not ashamed of who I am. I am not going to suppress this. Your feelings are meant to be felt. Do you hear me? Are you listening? Your feelings are meant to be felt. What a simple concept. How silly. But we don't always do that. So give permission to whatever comes up to surface. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. We need to hear it. Some of these reminders we already know, we just need to keep on hearing it because there's so many different simulations and stimulations, aren't there? Okay? So, set your intention. Connect with how it's going to feel when you have it. If you want a trick of how I connect with it, it's because I connect with 5-year-old Nikki and he's like, woohoo! Because he still believes in magic and he's hopeful and optimistic and not miserable. Again, my intention is that we all know inner peace in all the categories of our life. Because after all the work, after all the healing, after all the dedication I've done, I realized, yes, I deserve success. Yes, I deserve love. I just want peace, man. I just want peace. I just want peace. And you want peace. And we deserve that peace. And we do it piece by piece. And you're an important piece within my peace. And my peace honors your peace. You are part of this beautiful ocean, part of this beautiful planet, part of this beautiful picture. None of us know what we're doing. And everybody's telling us how to do it. Find your peace. Find your people. I'm finding my people digitally. Like a child playing hide and go seek. You deserve better. I deserve. And better starts here. So, somebody's feeling emotional. Good. Don't shame yourself. There you go. All right. So, set your intention. Eyes open or eyes closed. Let me see. Eyes closed. Okay. Gotcha. I'm going to do it with the eyes closed. And again, I breathe from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. I feel myself up with that color that represents my intention. I see moments being created. I focus on the fabric. So I could even see myself when I see myself in a tailored suit, when I see myself in a shirt, I focus as much as I can to find the details to make it as real as possible. I see other people connecting with me and congratulating me, tagging me on social media, hugging me, high-fiving me. I see myself going into the real estate agent. I see myself being able to know, doesn't matter how much money I have, but I can afford it. I connect emotionally with that. I see other people hugging me when I'm in the doctor's office and they're telling me congratulations on being so healthy. This is how I meditate. And I tell myself after I do this visual, I tell myself no matter what happens to me, life is going to take me to that place. So whatever comes up emotionally for you, honor it. Put it in the spotlight. Bring it along. See all yourself. All right. So eyes open or eyes closed, because there are some people that are driving. Some people got kids. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can meditate with your eyes open. I'm just choosing to do it while it's closed right now. Set your intention. Again, my intention is for all of us to know peace. And after you exhale, write congratulations in the comment section, because you already have access to it, because you've already got it, and winners celebrate winners. It's powerful when we do this collectively. All right? So, again, don't compare your breath to mine. I take very, very deep breaths. But after you exhale, if you're open to it, just write congratulations, especially if you're somebody who normally doesn't write comments because it's cheesy, because you want to learn how to step into the excitement. This is a way to create more excitement in your life. All right? So, look, people are already writing congratulations. They haven't even taken the breath in. I love that. All right, here we go. So, when my hand goes up, I'm breathing in. When my hand goes down, I'm breathing out. Safe space. You are protected. You're around good people. That's all there is to it. Everybody else can send all their energy back to the sides, not around you, not on my watch. You're safe. Thank you. I love you. Breathe in. Set your intention. Make it powerful. Make it count. This is for you. Focus. Roar!